What is up, guys? Welcome to another StewTube State of the Union, or State of the Channel address. These are kind of fun for me. I really like them. Not sure how you guys feel about them. You know, I don't know. It's kind of cool. I like to share kind of what's going on behind the scenes, both with the channel and what I've got going on in my personal life. Let me try to pull up the chat here real quick. There we go. Just in case anybody wants to follow along with that. It is there. The state of the tube. The state of the tube. You still don't know? Yeah, I know. I know. What is up, guys? Paxton, Outrun, Joey, Sprite Fox. New name, same fox. Alright, so I want to just kind of ramble on here. You guys bear with me. So right now we're at 533 subscribers. The number just keeps going up, and I believe that the reason for that is my Chrono Trigger review. It's at 5,515 views, which is fucking crazy, man. It's like legitimately like my first YouTube video. Like as far as like the number of views and the amount of traction it's gotten. What's up, Tranquil Monia? But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's my Chrono Trigger review is completely solidified into the YouTube search results. So I want to say like the last 20 subscribers have came from that, which is crazy, man. Like my name is out there. If I can just follow up and have another successful video like that, like y'all realize this could potentially become like a super duper legit channel. Like, no shit. It blows my mind. Yeah, the SaGa Frontier has also been super, super good for the channel. Like, I probably like, well, actually, you know what? I can tell you guys. And this is like the fastest growth I've ever had on my channel. When I streamed SaGa Frontier for the first time, I had 467 subscribers. So, yeah, that's a lot of growth. You can actually, in the very first, well, in all of the SaGa Frontier streams, at the very, very bottom of the description, there's actually, I punch in my sub count, and I leave it there and kind of go back and check it once I'm done with the game, just to kind of judge like the amount of growth that I've seen from playing a game. You know, it's just kind of interesting. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a significant, that's the most amount of subscribers I've gained in that short of a time frame. But yeah, so I mean the Grandia review video, that was really successful too. It's pretty much dead though. Like I'm not getting very many views on it anymore, which is okay. You know, still super glad. I have 3,978 views on that, which is really good. You know, obviously the fan base for Grandia is going to be a lot smaller than Chrono Trigger, so I mean, I am assuming at this point that Chrono Trigger is probably going to continue to gain views probably until around 10,000. You know, maybe a little bit more. I mean, it's up there though. I mean, it is ranked. So any person that goes to youtube.com and types in Chrono Trigger is going to see my video. I think there's actually another stat I can share real quick on this. Okay, yeah, so impressions. Let me switch this, okay. Okay, so my Chrono Trigger video has been pushed out to 48,899 people. Like in total. So that many people have seen my video. Not all of them clicked it. Only like 5,000 of them, 5,500 clicked it. But that's still fucking crazy, bro. That like 50,000 people out there have at least seen my thumbnail, you know? When I catch up on the chat. Joey, 1 billion subs would be pretty sweet, man. Yeah, no, you did good, Michael. SaGa Frontier is really good. Rooster Retro. Yeah, That's cool, man. I'll have to look and see if I can find your video. Is it a Chrono Trigger review? It's pretty cool. So yeah, the channel's doing super great. Super quick growth. I mean, it's crazy, man. Like I said, if I can follow up that Chrono Trigger review with another really successful video that can dominate in search, I mean, the sky's the limit. Now, what's weird to me is my Chrono Cross review is like completely dead. Well, it is, but it isn't. You know, let me pull up the numbers real quick. So the Chrono Cross review, it's hard to find because it's not. Usually my reviews do so good that they're always on the top of my list, my search. Where are you? Okay, so the Chrono Cross review is sitting at 427 views. There's been some, I mean, it's very slow but consistent, steady growth in views on that, but it doesn't seem to be doing as well as the Chrono Trigger video. That being said, let me look at the Chrono Trigger video and see. What if you guys are actually interested in like these stats and stuff? Just like hit me up in Discord, and I could do like a desktop screen cap and actually show you guys what all this looks like. Okay, so comparing my Chrono Cross video to the Chrono Trigger video, I uploaded the Chrono Trigger video in September of 2019, and it wasn't until January that traffic started to pick up on it. So September, October, November, December, January. So 5 months. I uploaded it. The initial views from uploading it were really good. I got 108 views pretty much in one day, which is awesome. 5 months later, it got picked up, I guess, by the algorithm, whatever you want to call it, and it just exploded. So maybe in 5 months, the Chrono Cross video will start to take off. So the coolest thing, I've mentioned this a couple different times to you guys. I really need to get a gaming computer, like really bad. Like this laptop, dude, is going to catch on fire. Well, Cross is a much lesser known game in the bigger picture. I think you'd have to be at least actively trying to get into RPGs to know about it. Yeah, you're probably right, Tranquil. Fan base is smaller. A lot of people, have negative opinions about the game. So it's more than likely it won't ever be as successful as the Chrono Trigger video, but we'll see. I mean, it's sitting at 400 views, and it's gotten those 400 views since I started streaming SaGa Frontier. So, I mean, I guess you could say that's. I mean, in all honesty, that's really not bad for a channel my size as far as view count goes. It is ranked in search. It just doesn't seem like a lot of people are searching for Chrono Cross. So you might be right. But, time will tell. There's sometimes videos are weird. I was talking to one guy that does YouTube videos, and randomly, out of nowhere, like a video that he uploaded like 3 years ago, all of a sudden, like the algorithm picked it up, and like one of the topics that he discussed in the video was trending, and it exploded, and his view count went through the roof. Anyway, so back to the computer thing. Yeah, computer is going to probably die. I don't know, man. It might make it to the end of 2020 if I'm lucky. I've got to get a gaming computer, man. I feel like I've hit this point where like my ability to edit videos is being hindered by the equipment that I have. And I'd like to get some work done on my PS3 because it's no longer playing PS3 or PS2 games. But a while back, how do the videos show up in search? So if you're on your mobile phone, Baboon, you can, open your YouTube app and you can switch it to incognito mode. And if you search Chrono Cross or Chrono Trigger, it'll show you like literally like the ranked it'll just show you like the videos in YouTube's rank, I guess you could say. So like for you, Baboon, because you're subscribed to me, if you search for Chrono Trigger, you're more than likely going to see my video. Like, let's say my Chrono Trigger video was a flop and it wasn't ranked in search, and you searched for it, you would see it up towards the top because you're subscribed to me. Right? So, to get an idea of how the video is ranked in search from the perspective of someone that isn't subscribed to me, what you can do is open up your YouTube app and click the three-dot menu in the top right and go into incognito mode and then search for Chrono Trigger. And then you'll see actually like just a fresh search result listing, and you'll see me up at the top. What? A clip of Valkyrie profile went mainstream viral for no what? What are you talking about, Michael? Anyway, so I mentioned to you guys a while back that my plan moving forward is to take any super chats that I get from the live streams and put them into the stock market. And for those of you guys that don't know anything about the stock market, you should look into something called Robinhood. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, stocks are they're so easy to get into, man. It's so less complicated than what like most people think of it as, like including myself. I had no idea how the stock market worked until I just randomly downloaded this Robinhood app. Not a fan of stonks. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, it's risky business. Anyway, so I had around $50 in the bank. That was all super chats from you guys. And I put it into the stock market, and I invested into Norwegian Cruise Lines, whose stock price like dropped ridiculously hard because of COVID-19. And it is rebounding. So I have successfully turned that $50 of y'all's super chats into $347.17. Like 100%, no shit, not even kidding. So I'm like literally as we speak, you guys, I'm halfway to a gaming computer solely funded by you guys and a little bit of luck on the stock market, which is fucking fantastic. So sounds like Vikings. It might be, bro. It might be. So to those of you guys that drop super chats on the channel, over like the last month or two, fuck yeah, I thank you, I appreciate it. We're halfway to a gaming computer. Now, this is where it gets, the stock market can get a little bit spooky. Is like, so like I'm looking at the Norwegian Cruise Line stock price over the last year, and before the pandemic the stock price was sitting at $52.86 a share, and right now the stock price is at $28.92. When I purchased my stock in the company, it was priced at $12.93. So I'm halfway there to where I'm halfway to the value that it was listed at before the pandemic. So the gamble comes into play here. Do I pull the money out and come up with the other $300, $400 myself to get a gaming computer, or do I leave my money invested into Norwegian Cruise Lines and let it sit there until it reaches its original price before the pandemic? If I wait until it reaches that original price pre-pandemic, I will have enough for a gaming computer. Or I could potentially lose it all. That's just how the stock market goes. But if you look at, if you were to be able to see what I'm seeing, the stock price has been pretty consistent over the last 5 years. So I feel like it would probably be safe to just wait it out. You know what I mean? Regardless, whatever I decide to do, it's fucking crazy that y'all's $50 worth of tips I've managed to turn into like $350. So anyway, just a quick recap. The channel is doing really good. It's crazy to me that the success with the Chrono Trigger video that is bringing in subscribers. SaGa Frontier has been really, really successful as well, and it's probably safe to assume that a SaGa Frontier review could potentially be like a repeat of the success with the Chrono Trigger video. I'm hoping. I think it's pretty likely, though. I mean, you know, there's not a whole lot of new content on YouTube based around SaGa Frontier. It's all fairly old stuff. I think the most recent upload was like 2 years ago. So, good news for old StewTube. You see many new people in the chat. I don't think I've seen Tranquilmonia before. Oh, wait, you probably just mean in general. Yeah, for sure. There's been a whole influx of new people. Thanks to SaGa Frontier. All right, so moving on. Some updates and kind of like my personal life, I guess. Still unemployed. I got my unemployment a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure I've already told you guys that. I got a pretty significant amount of back pay, thank God. So I'm all good on that front. I did decide to head down to the lower part of Michigan. Right on, Rooster. Yeah, dude, you too. I hope you're doing good as well. Yeah, you're one of the people that donated, by the way. So part of that $350 is thanks to you, my man. Yeah, so I decided the other day to head downstate and see my mom. That I don't know, man. That was rough. It's like, I'll just be totally honest with you guys, man. Like, you know, my mom she's become a hoarder. Like, no shit. Like, TLC show, like, hoarder. It's fucking sad, man. It's fucking sad because there's not really anything I can do to help, you know, especially with me moving. I don't know, you know, it's sad to see my childhood home, like, full of bullshit and, like, falling apart, you know, but I don't know, man. I mean, for those of you guys that don't really know the backstory, I'll kind of spare everybody of it, but, you know, I had a pretty crazy childhood. If you want the full backstory, you can watch the Dear Final Fantasy video. That'll kind of explain a lot, but after everything that my mom went through, trying to, you know, raise us kids, like, by herself, like, I'm sure, like, you know, her first kid was, like, my older brother, he's, like, physically disabled, mentally disabled. He has cerebral palsy. You know, so her first kid had a bunch of problems, and it caused her first relationship to not work out. And then the next dude she was with, she had 2 more kids with. That relationship didn't work out. She had a 4th kid with a dude that, like, you know, I don't know, was pretty physically abusive towards her. And then anyway, like I said, if you want the full backstory, watch the Dear Final Fantasy video. But it's my belief that, like, after all that stuff that she went through, like, it just has caused her so many, like, mental health issues. Yeah, there's not really... Yeah, single moms are the real heroes, man. I mean, it took me, you know... Of course, like, when I was a kid, like, I resented her for a lot of the shit that we went through. Like, you know, I blamed her for the fact that, like, I had to go to, like, 10,000 different schools growing up and, like, always bouncing from town to town. But now that I'm older, you know, she was a good mom. She did everything that she could, you know. And I think a lot of single parents probably could have just said, fuck it, I'm out, you know. But I don't know, man, you know. It's just sad to see the house like that. It's, you know, I'm sure she's, like, morbidly depressed. You know, all of her kids are grown now, so she just has a bunch of chihuahuas to take care of. But, yeah, I don't know. And it's, like, part of me feels really guilty, man, because, like, this whole experience I've gone through with moving from Arkansas to Michigan, the state that I'm from, you know, like, I wanted to fucking show up, like, all doing good and see her and, you know, be making good money and have something to celebrate. And it's like, then I lost my job because of COVID-19. It's like, I don't know, like, it sucks because, like, I am fixing to move. That's the next big announcement. I've going to be moving out to Minnesota Friday. And I've only got to see my mom once, and I'd never had a chance to see my brothers or sisters. Well, my older brother I've seen, he kind of lives between where I'm going and where I'm living right now, but my mom lives south of me, if that makes any sense. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I kind of feel guilty, that I didn't really get to see her much at all. I seen her like once for 6 hours after not seeing her for like 11 years, but I don't know, man. I mean, what do you do, I can't go back to being a kid and fucking go backwards in time and I don't know. I mean, you got to follow the money. I got to work, it sucks, but that's just the reality. It's best that, one of her kids is focused and successful, sacrifice now to be able to celebrate later, I guess. What is up in Minnesota? So, before moving to Michigan and working with Cisco as an outside sales rep, and some of you guys probably know this, I was a dietary manager, and what that is like I was like the boss of a kitchen that served old folks in a nursing home. Not the greatest job in the world, but the pay's okay. It really, the job depends a lot on the facility that you work in. So the reason I had enough and I had to get out of the healthcare field is I didn't have shit for resources. I worked for a really cheap company. All I cared about was the bottom line, not, patients and resident satisfaction, nothing like that. I had like the bare minimum staff. Like if someone fucking I don't even know, dude. I'm talking like I had such bare minimum staff. If somebody was an hour behind, it would fuck up the entire day for the entire facility, and it was just ridiculous. And I was done, man. And I worked in that facility for way too long, dude. I started working there when I was 16, and I worked there all the way until I was until I moved. So a fucking really long time, bro. I'm like, when I finally leave, I'm like 28 years old, and I've worked there for 10 years, 12 or 13 years. Like, that's fucking insane. But, so that's what I did in Arkansas. And I am going to be doing the same thing in Minnesota. The only difference is it pays a fuckload more than it did in Arkansas. It actually pays a little bit better than Cisco. Quote unquote. Asterisk at the end of that. With Cisco, there was like a massive potential to make a bunch of commission, like fucking crazy amounts of money once you get established and you have a big portfolio of customers. You start bringing in the commission. That job is actually it's kind of ridiculous because you can make as much money as a doctor. But the base pay was okay. It was better than what I was making in Arkansas, but the place I'm going to go to in Minnesota, doing what I was doing in Arkansas, pays more than the base pay from Cisco, and I never earned any commission when I was with Cisco because I was still new, and it takes almost a year, really, to start seeing commission. So that's a win. More money than I was making here in Michigan, A little bit less earning potential, but right now, more money. So... also, from what I gather, I haven't been to the facility yet that I'm going to be help running, obviously because it's in Minnesota. But it does seem like there's way more resources. Like I have a shitload more staff. I have a dietitian that works in the facility alongside me, which dude, that's fucking unknown territory to me. Back in Arkansas, the dietitian would literally only come once a month if you're lucky. And really what their role is part of my job is to, work alongside the nursing staff to make sure that residents aren't losing weight. They're getting the calorie needs that they need. They're getting enough protein to keep from developing pressure ulcers or bed sores. There's a big chunk of my job was actually in being involved in the planning of care for patients. And if there were certain situations that were above my training, and getting into things that I don't fully understand, like prescribing like supplements, prescribing like appetite stimulants, things like that. You have to rely on a dietitian to do that, and they come once a month. So it's like I'm dealing with this person who's fucking withering away for an entire month before I can even begin to do something about it. I won't have to deal with that. So that's nice. But yeah, more staff. That's a big one. You know, back in Arkansas, the job I was doing, man, it was fucking killing me because like my whole, like, I'm just tied to my phone. You know, I have a skeleton crew of people, and anytime any of them has to take off work, like, it's me or it's nobody. It's me covering for them, or people don't get fed. And I was not getting paid enough to deal with that shit. So, you know, also I'll be closer to, I have an aunt that lives like 2 hours north of the town that I'm moving to. And she's got a lot going on, man. She's got like 3 restaurants. You know, she's doing really good. So, you know, God forbid if something ever happened, I'm 2 hours away from family that has the resources to help me out, has the resources to give me a job. You know, and dude, the way the world is right now, that peace of mind is priceless. You know, when I lost that Cisco job, I fucking was, dude, I'm not even gonna lie, man. And like, I consider myself to have a very strong will and a very strong mind. But bro, when I lost that Cisco job, I was like straight up crying, dude, on the phone as my boss is like reading me his little script. You know, it fucking sucked. And I never want to go through that shit again. Ironically enough, though, the town I'm moving to actually does have a Cisco warehouse. They call them operating companies. You know, Cisco is such a huge corporation that they kind of break up like chunks of the country into smaller Cisco branches. And there's a branch right there in the town that I'm going to be moving to, which is crazy. So if I ever do feel like, you know, hey, let's give the sales thing another shot, you know, it's right there, and I won't have to relocate for it this time. And, you know, that is an option that I'm not going to take off the table. You know, I did quit management for a reason, so it would only make sense to keep an open mind to potentially getting back out there into sales. You know, of course, part of me blames Cisco, and I hold it against them. You know, they did move my ass all the way up here from Arkansas for this job. Like, fuck, bro. Like, can I at least get, like, some severance pay? Like, I haven't worked here long enough for severance pay, but, I mean, come on, bro. This is kind of an extenuating circumstance. You know, can you give me a time, like, a fucking rough estimate? Like, if I'm going to come back to work, if I'm not going to come back to work. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, fuck, man. I mean, there's no restaurants to sell to. Everything's closed because of COVID. So how can I really blame you? You know, blame the government, man. Anyway, so that is the plan. Moving to Minnesota. I'll be about an hour away from Minneapolis, which is a whole other level of fucking ironic. Oh, something just came through the pipeline. I don't see it. Why does it not work? Wait. My alert box isn't working. Anyway, yeah. So that's moving an hour away from Minneapolis. Kind of brings in like its whole other set of concerns. Hey. We just got something. Got a notification on the old phone. All right, we got a $10 spot. I don't have your username. I have your name, but I'm not going to say that out loud. So you know who you are. Appreciate that $10 spot. Very nice. Yeah, so anyway, I moved from Arkansas to Michigan to start this amazing career and live happily ever after, and then a fucking worldwide pandemic spreads through and destroys the economy and I lose my job. Now I have decided to move over to Minnesota, about an hour away from Minneapolis, and now Minneapolis is on fire and there's a pandemic and riots happening all over the country. So I'm going to just tell you guys something right now, okay? There is a 50-50 chance that my froggy ass might be the Antichrist. So if y'all better just pray that this shit works out in Minnesota, because I'm telling you right now, if I move again, there is going to be a meteor coming down or something, bro. Something bad is going to happen if I move again. And it might be enough to take us all out, man. Oh, Rooster. You're the culprit, man. Appreciate them 10 schmeckles. So I'm actually going to be moving Friday. Calm down, Sephiroth, bro. Hey, I'm just saying. I mean, it's not illogical for me at this point to assume that if I move again, something bad's gonna happen. I mean, I'm just saying. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Yeah, so the move is going to be happening this Friday. So as far as the channel goes, here's what that means. I will not be streaming the rest of this week because I have to focus on getting packed up and getting moved out there. And then I'm probably going to have to take another week off. I do need to get focused and really kind of get my feet wet with this new job. You know, it's going to this facility I'm going to be taking over is going to probably be a little bit more of a beast compared to the one I took over back in Arkansas. They've got 100 patients. I usually had 70. Half of the facility is like an assisted living community, and I just have no idea what I'm walking into as far as like the skill level of the staff and what the facility expectations are as far as like food quality and shit. I mean, I'm not Gordon Ramsay, but I'm better than like a fry cook at a fast food joint, you know? So just between that and moving to a new place and figuring out where everything is and not getting shot or my house burnt down, you know, so it'll probably, you guys will see me 2 weeks after tonight. Granted, I'll still be active in the Discord. When I return, we're going to knock out Loot's quest probably first, and then Ricky's quest. And then with Blue, I want to try to grind a little bit in that and get strong enough to take down a couple optional bosses, like that giant turtle in the bottom of the bio research lab. You know, potentially more super bosses, optional bosses. It just kind of depends. We'll have to cross that road when we get there. So... yeah, so just to recap, channel is doing really good. Chrono Trigger video is an absolute success. We are up 60 or 70 subscribers in the last month and a half, which is outstanding. Super chats have been coming through. Been taking those, putting them into the stock market. I've turned $50 into $350, which is crazy cool. That is all thanks to you guys. We're halfway to a gaming computer. Went down and seen my mom. That was crazy. Hoarder, house is collapsing. Really fucked up situation. Nothing I can really do to help. You know, sucks I haven't gotten to see any of the family that I came up here to see, but once is better than nothing. You know, I don't know. It's sad. Makes me sad. Makes me feel really guilty. But at the end of the day, it's the best thing I can do is to focus on career stuff. You know, the more successful I can be, the more I will be able to do in the future. And that's just the way life is, man, I guess. At least it is for me. Moving Friday, an hour away from Minneapolis. I'm a little scared, but it'll be okay. Career situation finally taken care of. Well, I should say job. I don't know. I don't really feel like it's much of a career working in management, but I can't complain. So, going to be going back to what I was doing in Arkansas, and when I'm ready, I'll jump back into sales with either Cisco, which will be right there in the town I live in, or maybe one of Cisco's competitors. It just kind of depends on how I feel. So that's the recap. Ironically enough, my boss from Cisco actually did reach out to me about coming back to work for Cisco. He's actually asked me twice. And I would just fucking say yes. Like, of course I would just say yes, but it's for like fucking like, dude, it's for an area like 2 hours away. And I'm just like, man, like I appreciate, like I didn't say this to him, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, I appreciate the idea, I appreciate the offer. You know, reinforces to me that I didn't lose my job because of my performance. It's because of the COVID. But it's like at the same time, like, you motherfucker, really, bro? Like, I moved 17 hours away. I moved 17 hours for this job. Y'all fucking send me packing when shit gets rough for your bottom line, and you expect me to move again? No, fuck you. Like, I've done my part. I've fucking done more than most people probably would do to be able to come work for you guys. Meet me halfway. Meet me all the way, really. Yeah, so that's basically it. I don't know if you guys have any questions or comments. How do you hear about these jobs? Are you talking about the nursing home management jobs, or are you talking about the sales jobs? Paxton. Appreciate it, Rooster. Yeah, man, it helps, dude. It helps. Yeah, oh, I will, Tranquil. Don't worry, man. I don't know, man. I'm not a violent guy, but I have the means to protect myself and the people I care about. That's all I'll say. Yeah, Rooster. If you're curious, man, I don't know how many super chats come your way, but if you're curious to know more about the stock market, hit me up, dude. Or same goes for any of you guys. If anyone's ever interested in that, let me know. I can share what I know, man. So Paxton, yeah, I'll just answer both questions. I don't know if you're still here. So the certified dietary manager thing, I hear about those on Indeed, and I'm also part of this like organization called like the American Nutritional Food fucking something or other. I can't think of what the name is, but it's like a professional organization, and I get like emails and I get magazines and stuff sent to me. And it has like listings of jobs around the country. Then of course just Indeed. But the biggest thing is to be like a certified dietary manager. It's like a 2-year certification process that you have to go through. It's a whole deal, and then you get like basically like a certification, little license. You have to do some stuff throughout the year, like take continuing education classes in order to maintain your certification. So there's a lot to it. Once you do it once, you always have your certification, but you have to do some stuff like to keep it active, if that makes sense. And there's like yearly dues that you have to pay. It's almost like being a union, but you don't get any benefits of being in a union. It's kind of fucked up, but hey, it's a decent paying job, and it's always in demand, but you do have to have that in order to do it. And then as far as the sales jobs, company websites, man, that's, like a lot of they call them broadline distributors. So there's like Cisco, Performance Food Group, US Foods. They all have company websites where they list positions that they're looking to fill. So I just keep an eye on those. I applied for like 12 different places when I moved up here to work for Cisco. It took me 12 attempts to get a fucking job with the bastards. And now that they fucking let me go, they're like, "Oh shit, can you come back?" Anyway. So yeah, that is a wrap for me tonight, guys. Appreciate everyone hanging out and listening to me moan and groan, and spill my life plans. What's up, Awesome? I see you there. Yeah, thanks, Paxton. So yeah, halfway to a gaming computer. Moving Friday. Gonna be gone for probably 2 weeks, but I'll be back before you know it, and we will be rocking and rolling and finishing up SaGa Frontier. The I don't know counter. I know, man. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Maybe I could have like a bot do that. But then I think someone would have to type in a command to keep track of it. I don't know. Oh, there's another one. Darth Penn. Thanks, man. Will do. Yeah, so I will see you guys in 2 weeks. When I get back, we're going to hit up some more SaGa Frontier. Then I'm going to knock out a review. Expect... I don't know. The next game, I'll probably just do a... I can't stop saying it now, Goomba. The next game, I'll drop a... As we get closer to the end of SaGa Frontier, I'll drop a voting thing in Discord. And, yeah, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Appreciate all the love and the support. You guys are fucking cool, man. You guys are cooler than you could ever imagine. Anyway, that is a wrap, and I'll see you guys in the next one.